Alright, man, I'm pissed off. This is attempt number 2 at the podcast. I got this bitch ass fucking wire that just cut everything off. I was talking about a lot of fucking shit for like 5 minutes, and then my cat interrupted me and I yelled at the cat. I know you guys love when I yell at the cat. And it just it just wasn't recording. And then I had to stop and I was like, what happened? Did I move the mic? Did I fuck something up? And now I have a headache, and I honestly, I don't even want to do the fucking podcast anymore. That's how mad I am. This is fucking dumb. Uh, what is a failed comedian? What is a failed comedian? Been thinking about that the past week or so. Been thinking about that. Because it's in the bio. The Suicide Logs of Marconi, a failed comedian. And there's just a lot of things that's kind of been going on. First of all, I feel tired as shit, more tired than the first attempt at doing this podcast. And I just feel like it's just the tired feeling is just not going to go away. It's just going to get worse. I feel like if you've been listening, if you're a true white belt of the podcast, you're going to know that I've always been tired. If you don't know what being a white belt is, it's just like being new or being new to something. If you're new to the podcast, I established that inside joke back in like episode 40 or 50 or whatever. I also had another inside joke. Nails are just through the fucking roof. And had an email during the first attempt. I guess I'll read it to you. It basically told my friend that I downloaded TikTok, I wanted to share a stand-up clip, and it just, the first thing up when I downloaded TikTok, I don't even follow anybody on TikTok, just on the For You page, the first thing up was a bitch breastfeeding. Nipples out and everything, titties out and everything, dude, the nip in the baby's mouth. And now I am looking at my my program here to record the podcast, and I just feel like it's fucking up. And I don't know if it's because I get TikTok and they're trying to fucking silence me. And I'm getting pretty upset about that, so I'm going to pause and just see it's okie dokie, because I just don't want to talk to my fucking self again and not have this publicized for the famous internet. So be right back. Oh yeah, it's fucking up, man. It is fucking up. It's cutting off. It's cutting off every other word. So I just closed a bunch of programs on the laptop, and hopefully that would help it. So far, so good. Doesn't look like anything's freezing. It looks like my voice is la 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 la. Yeah, it's working, man. I got this money, baby. I wanna spend it on you. My friend Omar listened back to the blogging episode, and he said, man, I sound like such a bitch on the microphone. And I told him, well, it's glad you're finally coming to realize who you really are. It's always the people who are the fucking meanest to other people that are the most self-conscious. I've realized that. That guy be steady talking shit, but then when it comes to himself, it's just he's projecting. It's a projection of himself. I really hope this shit, man. Ooh, I just feel like I'm trying to be silenced, dude. I just feel like something's just, they don't want me. I'm not cut out for this world, man. Not cut out for this shit. Let me double check again. Let's see if it's working. Alright, it's working. I guess I just had to close out a bunch of programs that's going on my computer. But, I'm fucking exhausted, man. I don't even want to do this shit anymore. I'm probably just gonna shut it off and come back to it later. I'm just... man, I can't do this all on my own. I'm no Superman. That's the fucking Scrubs theme song, dude. We had, I don't think I'm gonna keep doing business with Beat At Films. He came by, tried to record an episode with Mr. Jared Camacho, and I don't know who's at fault. I don't know if you're listening to this. I don't know what's going on. He emailed me some stuff, and that was about it of the clip, and I didn't give him really any feedback of what I thought. And he just unfollowed me. He just unfollowed me on the Instagram, and so I unfollowed him back. So be that films. I don't know if I soured the relationship or whatever. I just don't want to be a fucking bitch about it and hit you up and be like, what did I do wrong? So you're gonna have to hit me up, man. I was gonna pay you. But guess not. Guess not. I guess I gotta do this all on my own. I'm no Superman. Let's take a woo-saw, man. I really need that. If you're listening, if you're a fucking white belt, let's take a woo-saw together. Let's take a sip of some water, dude. Fuck this, man. I'm pissed off. So, what is a failed comedian? It's kind of the root of this episode, I guess. I have two examples of a failed comedian of what I have in my head. And the first one is a comedian who got ostracized or blackballed or canceled from the community or whatever. And I guess an example of that would be like a Carlos Mencia, a fucking joke thief, or a Kramer, you know? They just said something, they just pushed the boundaries a little too much and it didn't make any sense, and they just kind of were losing it. It wasn't comedy anymore. It was just a guy who fucking lost it. And so that's one example of a failed comedian. And I think the other example of a failed comedian is just someone who gave up. That's all it really is, man. I mean, if you're like, what? I mean, if you consider yourself a failed comedian because you didn't headline Madison Square Garden, or you're part of the 1% of the comedians, you know, or you're good friends with fucking Kevin Hart or Dave Chappelle or Louis C.K. If that's a case of a failed comedian, somebody who didn't make it, then we're all failed comedians. I don't think you should be so hard on yourself if you've just been an open micer for 10 years. We've all got different goals. Just don't be so hard on yourself. And with that being said, I just sometimes think about giving up. I do. I just think about giving up. Because I want to make a difference. I want to do something unique. I want to shake the world up. I just don't want to be a hack. I mean, we all don't want to be a hack if you're a comedian. I just don't want to feel like I'm wasting my time. And I think a big part of being a comedian long term is really loving it, and it's not a waste of time because it's something you like. And I guess the main reason why I wanted to do stand-up comedy really was just to improve myself, just self-improvement, get some fucking confidence, and just feel good about myself, that I could make people laugh with my ideas and stories and maybe even personality. But how much is enough? How much validation do I need? And, you know, no offense to any of the other comedians that I've rubbed shoulders with throughout this year and some change of steady hitting these mics and shows. It just seems exhausting to be saying the same fucking shit over and over again. Like, write a new joke, I guess. So that's what I get inspired to just write new jokes, because I just don't want to be a one-trick pony. You know, I just don't want to be up there, hey, I'm Manic. it was funny the first time, but it's not really funny after the 100th time. But and then that's when I started getting into my head where I started thinking, well, it's not really for you anymore. You're doing it for other people. And sometimes comedy can be kind of like a selfless act. If I've been doing this thing on stage recently for the past like couple of weeks, I'll just always, like, if I had a bit that has something to do about me, I'll go little bit about me in this fucking sarcastic voice, because that's what all comedians fucking do. They just talk about themselves, and it better be funny. It better be funny, or else you just look like a fucking doofus talking about your uncle you don't like. So anyways, yeah, fucking TikTok, man. They fucking, I made it. I've been had a TikTok. You can follow me on TikTok. I really don't give a fuck. It's called Marconi Puma. That BDAT Films guy, Vimo, his name is Vimo, was just really suggesting that I made a TikTok so I could promote it's better than promoting myself on Instagram or whatever. And I did it. And I saw a comedian. I see a lot of comedians post reels, and some of them go viral. And it kind of just sparked a little bit in me, like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking drop a reel. Let's do this. I can't do this all on my own. I'm no Superman. And it's just exhausting, man. It's just tiring, and I'm not complaining, by the way. I'm just talking about how my head feels, how I really feel. 'Cause I'd still rather be doing comedy than shoveling up elephant shit or something, you know? It's just, I don't know, I just feel like I've got this fucking brain fog or something, and it's almost like I'm working to have a good time rather than having a good time. Or everybody around me is having a good time, and I feel like I'm not having a good time. Maybe I just need to stop. I don't know. I was texting my parents earlier today, and I think my parents are talking about, like, yeah, it's hot. Make sure you turn your AC on, because I haven't been turning the AC on. I've just been wearing a hoodie and sitting in my car trying to lose weight. And I was like, I'm ready for anything. And my dad was like, just relax. Fucking ready for anything, man. And yeah. So I guess Lena the Plug got plugged by a fucking BBC, dude. And Adam 22 is just apparently the happiest man alive about it. And what are my thoughts on that? Good for you, but couldn't be me, man. Couldn't be me. And I just feel exhausted with what's going on in the world, dude. That shit makes me want to take a nap, man. That shit. They got some shit with Jonah Hill, actually. I don't know if you guys heard about that. Jonah Hill's ex-girlfriend released some text messages of him just saying, hey, I don't like you being a hoe. And the internet split about it. People are like, well, let the hoe be a hoe. And then some people are like, well, she should have not been a hoe, and she should have not released those text messages because he obviously didn't want to have them released. That's what he said. So even though they're not, this is how I'm kind of torn. I don't know how to go about it. I'm leaning towards I think he's in the right. But I think he could have had gone about it a little bit better. I don't think he should have said those things. I don't know how long they were dating. I don't even know the bitch. You know, I just like, this is her stunt. This is her move to get her notice, and she's getting noticed. I'm not even gonna bother to look her name up. All I know is she's like a surfer instructor. And honestly, if you're a surfer instructor, you're probably not making as much money as Jonah fucking Hill, so maybe you should do what he fucking says, depending on what is important to you in life. Dude, you're dating Jonah fucking Hill. He's probably rich. You don't have to do any surf instruct. You don't have to work. You don't need a 401k. Just, what are you posting pictures for? Whatever. You know, so she can do what she wants. She can do what she wants, and I guess just where Jonah kind of fucked up is where he was. It just kind of seemed like he was given an ultimatum, in a sense, or just kind of like lecturing. But I could kind of see where he's coming from, but at the same time, I feel like I'm not in his position. I'm not in his position, but I feel like to just end the controversy, he should have just been like, yeah, I'm out. Not even like give any wiggle room for her to be like, okay, maybe, because he was all like, I asked this once and you still didn't do it. You don't respect me. And I don't know. He was just being stern about it. He kind of made him look like a fucking wiener. I don't know. And so she can do what she wants, but he can, I don't know, man. He also didn't want those text messages released, and she did it, so like they're not even together anymore, and she's still not listening to him. You know what I mean? I'm like 60-70 on the side with Jonah Hill, and like 40-30%. Like, I don't even support the girl. It's just kind of like, well, girls will be girls. The girls, they want to have fun. Just lean at the plug shit, dude. I didn't know that she's never fucked a guy before. I didn't know she strictly just did lesbian porn. And don't they have a kid? And then Adam 22 is just eating it up. Not giving a fuck. Just rolling with the punches, and everybody's trying to analyze, like, this is, the guy's soul is beyond repair, and this is where society is going, and yeah, that shit's scary, man. Could it be me? I'll say, like, what do you want? What does everybody want? What do we want? Does Adam fuck girls? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is going on, man. Who the fuck am I to say anything, right? I think I need a nap. I'm gonna go lay down for a quick second, guys, so we will continue this conversation another time when I'm got a little bit more energy in me. I'm up and holding this goddamn mic until it's broken. And I don't know if it originally broke when I started yelling or I was holding the mic, or if it was really just all of the programs running on the computer. I am exhausted, dude. I am like, there's like no calories left in my brain to fucking exert, to pull an idea out. I'm completely it's been like hours. It's 11:11, and I was just too lazy to start over and just work on this. I don't know. I'm also sober. I haven't drank since the last America's Next Top Comedian. I haven't smoked in a week. Still on the caffeine, still on the coffee, but it's not that bad, right? Oops. We'll see, man. I'm back. It's been like 2 days. I don't know, dude. I think I need to change the fucking podcast studio or something, or go somewhere else, because I just feel like every time I sit in this chair, I'm talking to the podcast. I'm trying to pick up. It's been 2 days, and I had to cut something because it was literally like 2 minutes of silence because I was just sitting there. And nobody wants to listen to that, so I had to edit it out. And so it's been 2 days. I just feel like every time I sit in this fucking chair, I just lose energy or something. When I sit in this chair, it feels like fucking church. And when I would go to church, I don't know if I ever said this on the podcast, but every time I go to church, I would just lose energy, dude. It'd be like the hardest thing is standing up. They made you stand up during church. It'd be like, let us pray. And I just feel so weak, like I couldn't even stand up. And that's how I feel right now. I've just tried drinking some coffee to get me into it. What did we talk about? We talked about Adam Cucky 2 with Lena the Plug getting plugged by a BBC. I don't know. I think I mentioned Twitter Threads on the plugging episode. Twitter Threads fucking Threads. I think that shit's fucking dead. It seemed like a good idea at first, but then it's just like, what are we doing? Threads made me re-download Twitter. I've been on a Twitter bender lately. And one thing that Twitter does is it lets you, like, it's public. It shows how many people are viewing your tweets. And I'm just tweeting into the oblivion. And I'm just seeing like, oh, 7 people view this. 20 people view this. Whatever. And yeah, I'm just talking to myself. Nobody's on it. It's just a bunch of articles. Crazy shit. Last night I watched the UFC. Did some mushrooms too while that was going on because the card was boring as hell. And I was like, you know what? Might as well just fucking try to kill my ego while these bunch of nobodies are fighting. And it was cool. Seen a lot of ass shaking. I seen some lady fucking flashed her tits for the boxing match. Did not see a lick of the boxing fight at all. And then there was some girl who was shaking her butt. And all I could think is, you guys are fucking thirsty, dude. I looked at the fucking... That girl was... Her face is ugly as hell, dude. It's fucking butterface. And all you guys are fucking going crazy over her shaking her ass. And it wasn't even really... I mean, maybe I'm just being mean. And there goes the cat. Every time I talk. Every time I, like, talk in paragraph format, the cat has something to say.
I know.
I don't know what... It's like he wants to be a part of the conversation, but he doesn't know how to, wait till the other person's done talking. And he's just meow. I wish. You know how they have, like, Google Translate with, like, other languages? I wish they could do that with animals. And if my cat could just meow into a phone, and then my phone will repeat what it says. It'll translate it to English. And then my cat meows into the phone, then my phone goes, "You're a bitch." And then then that would be the day my cat becomes an outdoor cat. Because I'm not going to just, like, house some cat that thinks I'm a bitch. You know? Yeah, did some mushrooms, had vivid dreams. I had a dream about my old dog. And I was just petting him, and it felt so realistic. Like, oh man, I forgot what my old dog felt like. And I was just crying really hard in the dream, and then I woke up crying. You ever have one of those dreams where you're crying in your dream and you wake up and it's like you were crying in real life? And then I started laughing uncontrollably hours beforehand. I was just laughing so hard that I had to, like, kick up in the air to kind of, like, control my body from not laughing. So I needed that. I needed a good laugh. My girl didn't know I was on the mushroom, so she started thinking that she just thought she was really funny that day. Because I was just, ha ha, I don't know what. She was like, get me some Tylenol. And I was like, why don't you do it? And then I just started laughing. She's like, don't start with me. And, like, she was just threatening me. And I just was, ha ha ha. I felt like the top of my head was going to disconnect from my jaw from laughing so much. Like, you ever watch South Park and how the Canadian characters, like Ike, their heads, like, move, but their bottom part of their head doesn't move? That's how I felt. I was laughing so much I almost threw up, dude, over nothing. I was laughing at fucking John Cena saying, suck on these nuts, and that just set me off, dude. And, started feeling emotional, started feeling like, I don't know, man. It was a roller coaster. The highs are highs and the lows are lows. And I just had this. So between the past 2 days of me being like, I need a fucking nap, and then getting back on here, I downloaded TikTok so I could make like a TikTok, because everybody talks about, you got to get TikTok viral. That's how you start a career in entertainment. You gotta make a TikTok. And I don't know what the fuck people are talking about, because I looked at everybody's TikTok of like people who have Instagrams and TikToks, and their TikToks have less views or less followers than the Instagram. I don't get it. And one thing I don't like about TikTok is that it shows when people look at your profile, and it shows when you look at their profile. That's kind of weird. And so, yeah, I posted a TikTok. But I don't follow anybody on TikTok. I don't do nothing. And I don't like how the first thing that happened when I downloaded TikTok. First of all, let me backtrack. I go into the App Store, and I already knew it. I braced myself. The moment I opened the App Store, the first things like essential recommended TikTok. And I was like, yep, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. You read my mind. I downloaded it. I opened it. The first thing that showed up on the For You page, because I don't follow anything, was just some fucking bitch breastfeeding. Did I already say that on the? I guess I did. I don't know. And so I put some TikToks up of just me doing stand-up, like 3 TikToks just to see how it does. Didn't do that good. I put those same stand-up clips. I put them on Instagram. I put them on Reddit. I put them on YouTube. And let me just say, people are fucking mean on the internet, dude. Reddit is the most crucial fucking nitpicky-ass motherfuckers. And it's just one of those. And I'm not trying to make excuses. Like, if somebody's got some constructive criticism, I'll take it. Like, legit. But if somebody's just gonna straight up just be like, not funny or whatever, it kind of triggers it in my head. Like, well, you should have been there. You should have seen all the other 18 people that bombed before me. Okay, it was a tough crowd. You don't know how the environment was there. Somebody on YouTube was like, it sounds like you don't want to be there. Well, I kind of didn't want to be there because you should have seen. They were playing music super loud. I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to explain why I was being the way. That's why I kind of don't really like videos a little bit. But I just feel like if you're at the point where you're commenting on stand-up clips on YouTube as to why things aren't funny, and most chances are you've never done a lick of stand-up in your fucking life, you just want to, like, what are you looking for? You know, the fact that you even, like, came across my own fucking clip out of all the billions of things that are funny that you could see on the internet, and you just come across mine and you took the time to comment something, it just, you know, how I react to it is more just a reflection on myself. So I'm trying just to take shit on the chin. And then, yeah, everybody on Reddit is just, it's hard, but I said this shit yesterday, dude. I just feel like, you know, if you do something that does give you the internet's approval one time, it's like a high, and you just want to catch it. And you're just like, oh, because I did the X videos clip, and people seemed to really like how that joke was executed, and I was just like, I want all of my jokes to be approved from the internet. And then when something's not approved from the internet, you just start feeling all like, am I a fucking loser or whatever? Not really, but it's just more like, damn, you can't please people. But yeah, it's hard to fucking please people, especially if they're just, you don't know people. You know, everybody's got something mean to say. You click on their profile, they ain't got no fucking videos, and if they are, they're playing fucking RuneScape or some dork ass shit, you know? Like it's 2007. And then, so yeah, I took the mushrooms and just started feeling like, it just kind of made me realize, fuck what they think, you know? If it's funny to me, it's funny to me. And then I just started thinking, like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I doing this stand-up shit? And I just started thinking, like, man, I gotta not waste my time. And if I want to do something, like, there better be like a real reason as to why I'm doing it. And so yeah, hitting the fucking open mic tonight. And just, I don't know. It just feels at this point, I'm torn. I'm torn between two things. And I think the internet and people's comments kind of changed my mind throughout these past 2 days about it. At first, I used to just be like, yeah, I'm funny. And if I make people laugh, it's a service. And at the end of the day, you know what, man? I'm here for these people. I'm not here for me. I felt like I have a gift or whatever. I don't know if that's a little like overconfident. And then, yeah, with the internet, it kind of makes me feel like, fuck, I got to work on it. So I'm kind of torn of like, am I doing this for me or am I doing this for other people? So maybe I need like a healthy balance, because if I really was just doing it for other people, I would just say, you know, what works. But then there's a part of me that's like, man, I want to do new jokes like this. For example, something that was really funny was the fucking joke that Peter helped me make. The Jews would call him a cancer. Dude, I remember laughing at that for 2 days straight. Just thinking, like, every time I was feeling down, I'd think, oh, well, the Jews would call him a cancer. And I just started fucking laughing in my head. And now that I've done that joke a couple of times on stage, and it's kind of like maybe like a 60-40 ratio of it working or not. Now I'm thinking, like, maybe I should just drop it. But in my head, I'm like, man, that shit was funny as fuck to me. So, yeah, I don't know. And let's take a woosah. Hold on. Or like this fucking podcast, dude. At first I wasn't going to do it. I was like, I just want to play Call of Duty. But then I opened up my computer and I see this unfinished project. And I'm like, man, it's been a couple of days since I dropped the pot. You got to be consistent. But then I just have this inner battle of like, fuck it. Who cares? You're just going to keep going regardless. And so sometimes I think about that. Sometimes I just kind of want to not do the podcast for like 6 months or something, but that's probably not a good idea. And then, or just like find myself. Like yesterday I was just thinking about like, man, I feel like I just need to take a drive sometimes. Sometimes I just need to like go to some scenic area and just stare out the window and just really like think about what am I doing, and then maybe I could podcast that or something just to fucking clear my head, because maybe it's just like overthinking or something. Sometimes I feel like I'm just overthinking, and that could be leading to suicidal ideology of just going to the extreme of like, well, maybe if I kill myself I'll stop overthinking, because if you fucking kill yourself, your brain doesn't work, and then you have the whole great mystery of what happens after you die. But then I started thinking about the people that I love and cared about, and just thought about like, man, that would fucking suck. Like, you ever lose a fucking pet or something, and then it just feels so empty in the house. It's like, damn, a family member died. All I could think about is if I fucking left, people would be looking at just everything that I own and just be like, oh yeah, this used to be his. And that's not a good thought. I don't want to make people go through that. You know, just looking at shit. And then the selfish part of me is sometimes I think about it, like if I were to die, it kind of upsets me that, but they should probably do this, get over it. You know, sometimes it just kind of, that's something that keeps me living, because I don't want people to get over it, you know? I don't want to die and then it's 2026 and my girl's getting plugged by a BBC, my parents just get a new dog or so, I don't know. All my coworkers are just like, yeah, this used to be his fucking pen. He stabbed people with this pen. All my clothes will end up at a fucking Goodwill or something. And then some fucking bitch who vlogs her thrift. Look what I found at the thrift store. This is a very nice Hawaiian t-shirt. And they have no idea that the guy who wore that t-shirt was the fucking creator of Suicide Logs and the creator of Plogging. So it still sometimes feels like there's work to be done, because when I die, we've been watching that fucking shit, Ancient Apocalypse. And my girl was all like, we gotta make our mark. We gotta make our mark like hieroglyphs or something, like how people did thousands of years ago. And I was like, this podcast. And then she was like, no, the internet's gonna fucking get wiped out. And I thought about, like, man, that would be the worst investment ever. I made 262 episodes of this podcast, and just one nuclear meltdown erased everything. Or you know what would really piss me off, dude? If I fucking died and like this whole thing just became controversial and they just scrapped all of my data from Spotify and iTunes. I'd fucking haunt the shit out of whoever the fuck did that. I swear to God. I don't want that. I want this to be up there. I want people to fucking study it. I want 3,000 years to go by and they'll be like, the great philosopher Marconi created blogging, and it started a new trend around the world where people just started talking to themselves and they posted it for other people to see, and they fucking did their daily act, and then just all around the world people are blogging. Nobody talks to each other anymore. And instead of people like getting their phone numbers and shit, they're like, yeah, check out my blog, check out my podcast. I don't have time to talk. I don't have time for actual human interaction. I'm making a blog. Catch the next episode. Listen to the ads. Use my code. That's what helps support my blog. Fucking start a podcast. See what the fuck happens. Start a podcast. I've seen people today like, should I start a podcast? Do a fucking podcast if you want to. Why ask other people? Why do a podcast? Because your friends told you to do it. Do it because you want it. Because what if you wanted to do a podcast and only 5 fucking people told you to do a podcast, and 2 of them were your fucking brother and sister or some shit, and you get up on here, you do it for yourself. Don't do it for other people. But I guess, I don't know, man. It's just weird that people fucking listen to this in the first place. Somebody came up to me the other day and was like, I listened to your podcast, and I was like, nice to meet you. That was fucking weird. That's fucking weird. But he even admitted, was like, not to be weird or something, but just fucking, that's cool. That's cool. Like, I need more of that in my life to keep me alive, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't breastfed as a kid. I feel like if I was breastfed as a kid, I'd probably be 6 feet. You know, I'd probably be 6 feet and black if I was fucking breastfed, dude, or something like that. I'd probably have it together. My teeth would probably be straight if I was breastfed, you know? I sucked on a bottle until a later age in life. I think it was about 4 or 5 until I finally put the fucking bottle down. And I think, don't they say like when you suck on your thumb too much or something, that's what causes like you to have like an overbite or something like that? So I think that's what happened to me. My girl went to the dentist to get filled, not by a BBC, but a fucking cavity filling. And every time my girl goes to the dentist asks, did you used to have braces as a kid? And she never had braces because she was fucking blessed from the fucking tooth fairy god. And every time I go to the dentist, they're like, have you ever considered braces? And I'm like, bitch, I had braces. And so, yeah, I was thinking about getting braces, not braces, but an Invisalign. And I thought like, yeah, what's $2,000? Turns out it's almost $8,000 to get fucking Invisalign. And what was I talking about? Fucking teeth. What was I talking about before this shit? I don't know. Oh yeah, my teeth were fucked up, bro. My teeth were fucked up beyond like what it is right now. Before, like, I wonder what my fucking teeth would look like if I never had braces, dude. I would never smile. I ain't never gonna smile. My teeth were fucked up, dude. My teeth like were social distancing before, you know, social distancing was even a thing, dude. My teeth, they were gapped from molar to molar, bruh. And I remember in elementary school, people were like, doesn't that hurt? And I remember like I had my bottom teeth were crooked because I had like my first baby teeth were coming in. And I told my mom about it. My mom was all like, yeah, you just have to keep pushing the tooth with your tongue. But I wasn't pushing the baby tooth with my tongue. I was actually pushing the new tooth that was coming in. And I always think that's probably what fucked my teeth up, because I was pushing on the wrong teeth. I remember I didn't know how to blow my nose as a kid. Can you believe that? I had fucking, I had mocos. I had fucking, Sipon. Why can't I say it in English, dude? Mocos is Spanish. Sipon is Tagalog. Boogers, fucking snot coming out of my nose. And the lady who halfway babysat me, dude, she would like put the tissue paper up to my nose and she'd be like, blow. And I wouldn't blow. I'd fucking sniffle. Like the complete opposite. And she's like, no, you're not blowing. Like, blow. And I would just sniffle even harder. And she just gave up on me. And yeah, dude, I didn't learn how to blow my nose till maybe like 5 years ago. Something like that. One time I couldn't sneeze for like 3 weeks. Every time I needed to sneeze, it would just go away. So I thought I had cancer or some shit. And so I filmed it and everything too. I purposely just put pepper in my nose, and it just felt like the biggest fucking face orgasm ever, dude. Imagine fucking like sucking a dick. The dick's all the way in your throat, and you just sneeze simultaneously, sneezing and then coming at the same time. That'll probably cause permanent damage. I don't know. All right, we're about 42 minutes in. I probably got to get the fuck out of here. I want to play Call of Duty. Just wanted to fill this up with a whole lot of nothing. Oh, yeah, when I did the fucking mushrooms, too, I was just laughing hysterically, and I just thought it'd be a brilliant idea to put on as many sweaters as I could. And I had never done that before, and I put on, like, 5 sweaters and walked outside, and I felt lightheaded. I almost passed out. And, but then it felt so good when I took all the sweaters off. And so... And then another thing I did is that I made the shower really cold. I made the shower really cold and just fucking put up with it like how people do. I don't know why I did that. Something about the chakras or the fucking bullshit. The energies, I can't find the word. Global warming, dude. Everybody's all got their fucking dick in their ass over fucking global warming. And it's like, dude, we could go to nuclear war tomorrow. We could get fucking hit by an asteroid. Huh, my grandkids aren't going to live till 50 because of global... Well, don't have kids. Duh. Bad investment. Bad investment. I think when I started this podcast, I was talking about I was very on the mood of I don't want kids. I seen because I'm just worried that and I think if I'm gonna be realistic, dude, if I'm gonna be fair, if I'm gonna give myself an honest evaluation, kind of like how the people on fucking YouTube and Reddit do my stand-up comedy, I think if I have kids, most likely they're not gonna contribute to they're gonna be more of they're gonna litter, they're gonna want things, just knowing how I am. My kids are just going to probably be concerned about making the next big TikTok or whatever the fuck the next future is when they're a kid. And I guess that's all right. But sometimes it's just like, man, I want a genius, you know? I want to have a kid that makes something, that makes like, and nothing stupid, you know? Not no fucking Kim Kardashian, Adam 22, everybody's worried about their fucking drama on who's fucking who. I want a kid that like invents some innovation of I want a fucking dork, you know? Dork ass kid that just invents something and they take care of me. But I guess that's selfish. I don't know. That's what would really make me proud. And I've just kind of been thinking about that with my parents. Like I guess my parents are right, you know? They wanted me to go to school. They want me to be a fucking nurse to save people's lives and be a real good person. Not no fucking Maricon, fucking just joking like fucking joker ass. But in a way, you fucking help people. I remember one time I was in like middle school and I was watching a Joe Rogan comedy special. And Joe Rogan was just saying some really misogynistic things about, you know, women and how they belong in the kitchen and some shit. And my mom was doing the laundry while we were watching this, and she got really upset. And she was just like, he has nothing better to do, doesn't he? And she just got up and walked away. And then I think about that, like, geez, like, now Joe Rogan's doing podcasts with big ass scientist. He's on this show about fucking what happened. Like he actually kind of makes a difference, and he's got millions of dollars. And it's like, well, you know, I mean, he kind of does have better things to do, but. So I think about that. So I don't know. Maybe I'm headed somewhere. Maybe they just don't see the bigger picture. My mom had COVID. She just got over it. And I asked her, like, how are you doing? And she's like, it's good. I went shopping. I'm good. And then I said, yeah, this time last year I had COVID. And my mom said, be careful. Your immunity might be gone because my coworker got COVID a second time a year after they got it the first. And I was like, you know what? Who knows at this point anymore, right? And she just kind of started laughing. I think I've said on this podcast before, dude, my mom believes in God, but she wasn't really sure about the dinosaurs. So it's like priorities, you know? But I can't blame my parents. They went to they're from a different world, you know? They're from this fucking Catholic private school where so there's a little bit of brainwashing that goes on with the older generation that just kind of doesn't go away. But they're still on the same playing ground as us. They're just older. You know what I mean? Like some of the things that you learn, like cursive. Remember, you had to learn, at least if you're like my age, or as long as you're like at least 25 and up, I guess. They tried to teach us cursive in fucking elementary school. They graded you on, like, can you spell your name in cursive? Can you write a paragraph in cursive? Like, that's gonna fucking matter. And now we're in the future, and it's like, fuck cursive, dude. It's all about emojis. Did you know that there's a National Emoji Day? And I remember a couple of years ago, I was like, how many more years until people are going to have emojis in their legal name? You know, I remember when emojis first dropped, they were like this cute little thing, like fucking Temple Run or whatever. It felt like a video. Now emojis, the president probably uses emojis or some shit. And then sometimes I just think, like, am I just, like, outdated? Am I just, like, some guy who's never, like, doing the software update or never doing the new iOS update, and I'm just stuck on fucking iPhone 4? I fucking hate when I go to stand-up comedy to do comedy and I'll say something and somebody will just go, yes! And they fucking agree, but it's like you're agreeing the wrong way. I don't like when people say yes. I don't like when people say slay. I don't like when people say period. Call me a homophobe, but I don't like that shit. It's just corny as shit. Period. I don't care what facts you're speaking. I seen someone the other day, they were speaking something on like a Facebook post or whatever, and I was all like, you know what, they kind of making a point. And then at the end they said period, and I said, never mind. Never mind. That's why I don't want to be a fucking teacher, man. I remember I wanted to be a teacher as a kid when I was in the 5th grade. I had these goals. I was like, man, I want to be a teacher. I want to be the coolest teacher ever. I want to like put my legs up on the door, on the sides of the door hinge, and like walk up the door. I want to be like a 5th grade teacher that can do like cartwheels and all the kids will think I was cool. But I was in the 5th grade, then I fucking grew up and I was like, fuck what them kids think about me, bro. That's some pedophilic behavior if I never grew out of that. I just can't imagine being a fucking teacher and saying something and some fucking jackass in the back says, period. I'd beat the fuck out of him, bro. I'd slam them through a fucking table. Then I get fired and be like, period. Period. Yes! I gotta go, dude. I gotta fucking live I gotta clear my mind. I wanna live in Alaska. I wanna just be in the darkness. I wanna get my groceries. And just have my own opinions, have my own thoughts, and not fucking... No. I'm saying all this, but maybe, like, I'm spoiled as shit. I'll be in Alaska for 30 days or something and be like, man, kind of bored. I don't know. The UFC was crazy. Let's watch this fucking interview. Did you guys see this bitch fucking ran? She got hit like twice and then she just started running. Just running to the fucking cage. Let me play the interview though.
Ran across the cage. Everybody online is laughing and thinking it's so great. I know you haven't been on social media yet, probably, but you should go on and look at all the memes because they're amazing.
I'll be surprised today that I hit someone and she keeps going forward. All right. The way she ran, it doesn't surprise me because it's the same way she ran back when during the weigh-ins on Friday.
And there was a part of the fight where she turned around and ran across the cage. Everybody online is laughing and thinking it's so great. I know.
She said, I had to run to my corner for some advice. That's what this lady was thinking. That's funny, dude. That is funny. Somebody got a DN. I put up a reel. This is why people are fucking stupid, man. I put up that reel of me saying the anti-Semite jokes. It's not even really anti-Semite. It's just fucking jokes about Jews. No big deal. And some person with a dead mom was all like, your audience is Jewish. It's so dumb. It's like being a white person and your crowd being dominantly black and you use the N-word. It was not like that. And that's that shit. It's how I take that. And I took it. I just wanted to correct them. So I said something. They ain't say nothing back. So maybe people are just fucking dumb. And that's the thing that makes me like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Like, why try to please dumbasses, you know? So that's what I'm just trying. Today I'm going to try that dumbass joke. It's going to go like this. Working on my GED next week, guys. I'm taking the test and just studying really hard, kind of struggling with the geographical part of the test. It's like I've been searching all day. Where exactly in Mexico is El Salvador even at? I've been struggling all day. So I'm going to try that today and see how that fucking works. My sweet friend Peter called me yesterday. And he had some political joke about fucking Mike Judge having a long fucking ball sack of a chin and a whole bunch of other name-dropping people that I don't give a fuck or know about. And I was like, yeah, I don't like it. And he got mad. He's like, I'm going to do it. Fuck it. I'm going to do it on Kill Tony. And I was like, dude, I don't think it's funny. Then I told him my El Salvador joke. And he was like, no, that doesn't make sense. And I'm like, exactly. Neither does yours. And even if yours does make sense, nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about. So I'd rather have a joke that doesn't make sense, but at least everybody laughs because it's so fucking stupid, than talking about, well, I heard the governor of Oklahoma, Mr. Chad's Russafrice, is having an affair with his third cousin, and then, well, you all know how that cookie crumbles. When you go to the Pit Viper store to get Pit Vipers, you're gonna have a bad time. And then you just, what? Like, sometimes you could fucking put something together that is probably genius in your head, and I connected this with that, and it's so funny, but nobody knows what the fuck the pieces are. Nobody knows. Like, what's a dumbass joke that probably people won't... Like, if I make a UFC joke, because I'm super knowledgeable of UFC, how dumb would it be if I got up on stage with a bunch of fucking casual UFC fans and I'll be like, well, guys, if you really think about it, CM Punk is the greatest fighter of all time because CM Punk once beat Bobby Lashley, and Bobby Lashley fought MMA and beat Hurricane Katrina, and Hurricane Katrina also beat GSP, and GSP also trained with Chadwick Boseman, who's brothers with John Jones. So if you really look at it and you do the math, CM Punk is the greatest MMA fighter, like, you know? Nobody's going to get it. Everybody's just going to look at you like, I guess it's funny if I knew what the fuck you're talking about. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to, you know? I want to go up there and be like, shut up, bitch. That's it. All right, 55 minutes. I've done enough. This is fucking... Let's freestyle a little talk. Let's pretend. Presenting to the stage, Marconi Pomerano. I'm doing a 5-minute set. Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm gay. I'm gay because I'm doing stand-up comedy and I'm using my hands to talk. I care about what people think about me, so that's pretty fucking gay. And it all started last month for Juneteenth. I decided to celebrate Gay Pride Month. I decided to get up here and speak about it. And, I just fell in love because I told the crowd that I was gay. I came out and I just had a big roar of, yes, Queen Slay, period. And I just fucking, I just fell in love with it. And that's when I realized that, this is art. This is a artist. It's like my tongue is the paintbrush and the canvas are your ears. So listen to this and let me dip my paintbrush into your canvas. And so if we could have a volunteer, please step up in here so I could put my tongue in their ear, and we're gonna have a good time. Because if you're not laughing because somebody put their tongue in your ear, well, you probably got molested as a kid, because that would tickle. That would tickle if you really think about it. If somebody licked your ear and you didn't flinch, that something's wrong. You probably went to Catholic school. And one thing about me, I worship the devil. And I used to worship the devil. I started worshiping the devil because when I went to church, I felt really weak. I felt really weak in the knees when I would stand up and they let us pray. I don't know. I think it's because when I went to church, we went first thing in the morning and I never had breakfast, and I also didn't take my vitamins, which reminds me, I should have taken my vitamins. And by vitamins, I'm talking about Adderall. I forgot to take my vitamins this morning, and I don't even know how I got here, dude. I took the bus and I paid with my credit card, but I put my credit card in the tip jar, and so now I have to cancel my credit card. But joke's on them. I'm going to get a new credit card in the mail, and I didn't pay for my bus fare. So that's how you do that. I work for Uber. I also work for Lyft. I do Uber and Lyft. Well, I don't really work for them. I just drive around and pick people up. And when they get in my car, I just keep driving, dude, because what are they going to do? Because you have to wear the seatbelt, right? So the moment I hear that seatbelt click, and I have a new car, not to brag or anything, but I have a 2012 Hyundai Elantra, and the seatbelt, the sensor goes off when the seatbelt goes off. So when people take the seatbelt off, when I'm giving them their free Lyft drive, I pull out my fucking gun and tell them, hey, I'm a cop. Put on the seatbelt or else I'm going to shoot you, because that's illegal. And safety is my biggest concern right here. I also work for OSHA.
What the hell are you talking about? Guys,
are you heckling me?
Podcast. Holy shit. Holy
Would like
shit.
to introduce you guys to my fucking mom.
Holy fucking
my mom.
What is he even saying? Am I right, guys?
My mom is 10 years younger than me.
What?
She's my real mom.
His finger is currently in my ass as we speak.
Smells like strawberries. Smells like strawberries. Did I ever tell you that there was a guy in high school that said his cum smelled like strawberries? Yeah, there's this guy who said his cum smelled like strawberries, and it made me really self-conscious because my cum smelled like the ocean. And I think that about wraps it up. Let me know, what was your favorite part of my stand-up act? I think my favorite part was when I talked about pointing the gun at my fake passengers. This is all made up. It'd probably be funnier if I said it was true, but I'm a writer. And Da Ching Lo, Wishing Long Lo, fuck you, Da Ching Lo.